The number of confirmed COVID-19 cases up to 11 tonight in Bexar County. Before today, there were only 4. These are the latest numbers from San Antonio Metro Health. The city says the confirmed cases are 4 travel-related and then 4 close contacts of the travel-related cases. Those last 3 are still under investigation, which means it's unclear how these cases were contracted. As of right now, there is still no confirmed community spread cases of the virus. Metro Health says another 47 people have tested negative for COVID-19. New tonight, the mayor of San Marcos has issued an order that prohibits the public gathering of more than 10 or more people. This means restaurants and bars will be closed. The city order does have some exemptions, though, including government buildings that provide essential services like schools, grocery stores, and hospitals. The order will be reevaluated on April 1st. Meanwhile, South Texas school districts have extended closures beyond this week. Several districts are now closed through April 3rd. That includes East Central ISD, Northeast ISD, Northside ISD, SA ISD, and Harlandale ISD. Southwest ISD also on that list, and tonight the district passed an emergency resolution during a board meeting to make sure workers continue to get paid during the closure. That resolution gives power to the superintendent, Lloyd Verstuff, to continue the compensation to both salary and hourly teachers, bus drivers, and more. He says fortunately the continued checks for their employees was already a part of the school district's budget. The only difference is those employees are now doing their jobs at home.
We know that our educators, our employees, they're not in our buildings because they don't want to be. They're in our buildings because we're all participating in this kind of distancing ourselves from one another in an effort to help the greater good.
Verstuff says the only additional cost they will have to worry about later is from the low and high tech digital equipment they are now using to continue teaching students at home from home. And a woman who used to live in Universal City now teaching abroad details how her life has changed drastically due to the coronavirus pandemic. Braden House lives in South Korea, where John Hopkins is reporting more than 8,300 cases, rather. Tiffany Huertas has a look at how technology is helping her stay up to date with the latest and the message she has for Americans.
If I leave the house, I will wear a mask. And anytime I come in or out of a building, I always wash my hands.
This is the new normal for 29-year-old Braden House.
I only take one bus from my place to work, and I avoid touching things.
Braden graduated from Judson High School and then went on to the University of North Texas before moving to South Korea in 2017. She lives in Seoul, South Korea, and teaches English at an after-school academy.
Currently, we're just doing video classes.
While Braden says she's nervous about the current situation, she feels the government is being transparent.
Anytime there's a new case, we're alerted to what area it's in, and they will also provide the information of where the person was before they were diagnosed, what areas they were in, the time that they were there, and when those places are alerted, they're usually shut down for a while and sanitized.
Braden also uses an app dedicated to tracking people who tested positive for the coronavirus.
Through interviews, eyewitness accounts, CCTV cameras, and credit card transactions, they will basically, from the time that they've been diagnosed, they will trace back to when they were infected. And in the time span between that, they will find where the person was, when were they there.
While some may say this is an invasion of privacy, Braden says many people are happy to know what's going on around them.
They feel a lot more safer and a lot more confident in the decision making, knowing the information and being happy that they're at least being offered it.
And while the U.S. continues to implement different measures during this coronavirus pandemic, Braden says we should listen to health officials.
Panicking is not good. You should be concerned, absolutely. You should be taking precautions. You should be distancing yourself from people. You should not be going outside unless you absolutely have to.
For the 9, Tiffany Huertas.
A part of our KSAT team stuck more than 5,000 miles away. Sebastian Havel is part of our tech team and was ready to return home after visiting family in Argentina. But during his visit, flight restrictions were implemented and a self-quarantine was mandated for travelers. Sebastian arrived in Rosario, Argentina on the 10th and is hoping to finish his self-quarantine by Monday, but it's unclear when flights out of Argentina will resume. Sebastian has been living every day in a room painted pink and purple meant for his cousin's daughter, and it's now using to protect him from others. He says he hasn't shown any symptoms, but wants to be sure.
I'm here, I'm doing my best to try to ride this through. There's some days that are more emotional than the others because you kind of miss the people that you want to be around with, but I'm doing my best to hang in there.
Sebastian was originally scheduled to fly back today before those restrictions were imposed. While in quarantine, he gets food passed to him through a window and can only leave the room to use the restroom and the shower. Sebastian also just said this past Sunday that a 10-day lockdown was announced for the entire country of Argentina, with the exception of essential services like grocery stores and pharmacies. And we'll be keeping in touch with him throughout his stay there, and we'll bring you his stories on KSAT and KSAT.com. In other news, primary care physician offices have been swamped with calls from people with questions about their symptoms. One doctor says his call volume at just one office went from about 40 to 100 a day when compared with calls from before the pandemic. Medcare Associates Dr. Saleh Jafar has started treating patients who might be at risk through a drive-up system where the doctor goes down to get a swab and do a lung check while the patient remains in the vehicle. He's doing all of this to prevent the spread, but also to protect the limited medical supplies he currently has available.
We have one box of masks in our clinic, and I think it has like 20 or 30 masks. So imagine, and we see 100 patients a day.
Coming up tonight on the night beat, he shares his frustration with what he says is a lack of coordination for support for doctors. Turning to tonight's 9 at 9, here's a look at some of the coronavirus headlines from communities across the world. Brazil has confirmed its first death from the novel coronavirus. The victim is a 62-year-old man who also suffered from hypertension. The world's largest hotel chain has started furloughing employees because of the pandemic. Marriott International plans to let go of tens of thousands of workers without pay. They will include anyone from housekeepers to general managers, but no corporate executives. The company plans to rehire some of the furloughed employees when the virus is contained. California's governor is strongly recommending bars and clubs to close, but some are not following that recommendation. A Sacramento bar owner says he's having his employees regularly wash their hands and sanitize their workstations, but he's refusing to close down.
Why are you not shutting down?
Because it's not right. It's not right for my employees, it's not right for my patrons, and it's not right for my business.
In the United Kingdom, Queen Elizabeth has canceled a number of planned public appearances because of the novel coronavirus. The 93-year-old monarch is well over the age for sheltering guidance, which in Britain applies to people over 70. Facebook employees are getting an unexpected bonus worth $1,000. The company says it's giving every worker a grant to help with expenses during this outbreak. It's supposed to be used for things like setting up a home office or arranging childcare. Facebook has about 45,000 employees worldwide. This penguin at a Chicago aquarium is used to being behind the glass, but since the aquarium is closed, workers let him and some other penguins get a guided tour of the facility. An anonymous restaurant patron in Houston left a $9,400 tip last night after city leaders announced it was shutting down dine-in service. The person wrote on the receipt, quote, "Hold tip to pay your guys over the next few weeks."
The gift we got today should help soften the blow.
Each employee gets about $300. A woman in Massachusetts celebrating her 100th birthday with her family despite having to stay inside at her nursing home. The facility has tightened visitation guidelines to protect elderly residents from the coronavirus, but the woman's family found a way to be with her anyway, serenading her through her window. Disney is donating its excess food from Disney World and Disneyland during the coronavirus shutdown. The company announced the temporary closure of theme parks late last week. The parks will be donating excess food inventory to food banks in Orange County, California, and Central Florida. To read more about all these stories, head to KSAT.com. Well, we told you about H-E-B adjusting store hours, but it's also taking extra steps to help maintain the health of both customers and employees. In addition to ramped up curbside pickup and home delivery options, H-E-B is employing new health practices to protect those who come inside. H-E-B has assigned specific employees to the task of sanitizing the entire store at least twice a day. They'll also make sure food sanitation efforts are being maintained in areas like the bakery and the deli. New precautions are being taken a step further at checkout.
What customers are going to also start seeing is the rollout of what we're calling a sneeze guard or a plastic partition at the check stand. And really, this is H-E-B's commitment to making sure we're piloting these health initiatives that also kind of speak to the message of social distancing. So this is a way to just ensure one more piece of protection for the customer as well as for our partners.
And just a reminder, H-E-B's new hours are from 8 a.m. until 8 p.m. The chain also wants you to know they are hiring short-term workers amid the coronavirus crisis. You can find more information on KSAT.com.
Hey guys, Sarah Spivey here, socially distancing from home and trying to give you a forecast from home. It's actually pretty cool that we have the capability to do this. This is my house. These are pictures of me and my husband. Also, that's my husband. Say hi, Michael.
Hi.
Okay, cool. All right, so here we go. This is my apartment. It's really fun. Our living room, our kitchen, set up with the lights. And this is actually kind of where I did my work today. Just on this Mac computer, did all my forecasting, looking at different computer models. Wrote down kind of exactly what I thought was going to happen, plugged it in here, was actually able to get into the weather computers from home, which is pretty cool. So now I want to show you the forecast. All right, so the first thing that I want to talk about is the pollen count today. It is peak oak season, and with COVID-19 going around, people may be anxious. Is this allergies or is this COVID-19? Well, odds are if you don't have a fever, it's probably just allergies. And again, oak is high today at 2,380 pollen grains per cubic meter of air. So if you're wheezing and sneezing, that oak is probably the reason. Let's go ahead and take a look at the numbers today. We did have a few showers on the east side of Bexar County, but generally at the airport it stayed dry, so nothing in the rain gauge at the airport. The high was 83, which is 9 degrees above average, and our morning low this morning of 67 tells me, hey, it's humid. We're not cooling down that much. On the satellite and radar, you can see in the past those showers on the east side of Bexar County, but a wider view really does show that rich Gulf of Mexico moisture moving in. And as we take even a wider view out west, notice that yellow box. That's a severe thunderstorm watch box for a good portion of the central western part of Texas. And even in our KSAT 12 viewing area closer to Del Rio later tonight, we're going to have the potential for some stronger storms, but those storms should fizzle out by the time they reach San Antonio. So let's go ahead and take you through the future cast and I'll show you what I mean. Again, between about 10 to 2 o'clock in the morning, those storms will develop out west, forming a line. Now, as they move east towards San Antonio, they'll fall apart, and by sunrise tomorrow, for many of us in San Antonio, we'll just be seeing areas of fog and a few light rain showers. Other than that, it's going to be nice. We may even see some sunshine on Wednesday and climb into the low 80s. But again, there is that slight severe risk in those counties in yellow that you see there for the potential for quarter-sized hail and damaging wind gusts between about midnight to 7 o'clock in the morning tomorrow, again, west of San Antonio and northwest, even potentially out toward Kerrville, but who knows? We'll wait and see. Let's go ahead and take a look at tomorrow. We'll have areas of sprinkle in San Antonio and areas of fog, but then we should be able to see some sunshine by the afternoon. And this is a great opportunity to pause because my cat wants to be a part of the show. She keeps on climbing. Okay, again, we are from home. Okay, so tomorrow we'll see south winds at about 5 to 15 miles per hour, and again, some afternoon sun getting up to about 81 degrees in the afternoon. Then I want to transition into our next big rainmaker, which is actually going to be a cold front that'll arrive on Friday in the morning hours. You know, we haven't really seen any big rainmakers of late, just some patchy showers here and there, but Friday, it does look like we are going to see areas of showers scattered 60%, maybe even a few rumbles of thunder as well. That'll continue on Saturday as well, so Friday and Saturday, and then by Sunday those rain chances will start to taper off. This is really cool. I like this, and pun intended about cool, because Wednesday and Thursday will be in the 80s, but with that front moving through, We'll be cooling down into the 50s for high temperatures, not only on Friday, but also on Saturday, and then topping off around 60 on Sunday before we warm up early next week. So just putting it all together for you in the planning forecast, 60% chance for thunderstorms west of San Antonio tonight. Those will taper off. Then we'll be seeing a warm day Wednesday and Thursday, but that front moving through on Friday morning will allow us to cool down into the 50s with areas of light rain Friday and Saturday. It'll be windy too, and then it'll be beautiful next week. So that's a forecast from home. We'll keep you updated on those storms out west tonight.
My takeaway, if you're sneezing, Oak is probably the reason. Only Sarah Spivey. Coming up after the break. You've sent us questions about COVID-19 and we're doing our best to get you answers. Steve Spreester will be here next for a live interview with Dr. Ruth Berggren, Director of Medical Humanities and Ethics at UT Health San Antonio. She's a disaster preparedness expert and infectious disease doctor. We'll be right back.
You are watching KSAT News at 9, and tonight we're starting something new, coronavirus Q&A. With news surrounding the coronavirus pandemic changing every day, multiple times a day, there have been a lot of questions, especially from you, our viewers, and we like that. On the News at 6, we spoke with Dr. Ruth Berggren, the Director of Medical Humanities and Ethics at UT Health San Antonio. She is a disaster preparedness expert and an infectious disease doctor. After our conversation at 6, we asked you, our viewers, to submit some questions you would like answered. So Dr. Berggren joins us now via Skype. Dr. Berggren, can you hear me?
I can. Hello.
Okay. How are you? Okay, I want to, before we get to some of the great questions from our viewers, first question I have for you is about testing. Are you comfortable with the amount of testing we've seen so far in the state of Texas and in the city of San Antonio?
So until recently, I would have said no, but in the last couple of days, things have really changed, and we have more tests available. Several commercial labs are offering testing. Doctors have gotten information about how to access those tests, and the city of San Antonio with Metro Health is setting up testing sites that are currently just for healthcare workers, but eventually will be used for people who are not healthcare workers. So there's a lot of progress being made in that area, Steve, and that's good news.
All right, let's get to the questions from our viewers. A lot of people are wondering, and it's something we asked you about at 6 o'clock, is COVID-19 airborne?
Right, so we have, up until now, always been calling this something that was transmitted by respiratory droplets. What does that mean? Where the virus is going to go from person A to person B by jumping out of their respiratory secretions. When they cough, it doesn't literally jump. If the person coughs, the person sneezes, and so a little bit of the respiratory secretions go out into the air, and then those little droplets can land on a surface or on someone else's face or nose or get inhaled, and it's transmitted. Airborne, it technically refers to something that's very similar. It includes respiratory droplets, but when you say a virus is airborne, like measles virus, for instance, this means that the virus can survive in the air in very tinier particles that are dry for hours and hours. And so, for instance, with measles virus, there have been instances in which a person walked through an airport and then other people who weren't near that person but who walked through the airport also got measles. We have not documented this with COVID-19, but it's somewhat concerning that this week some researchers have posted online results of a non-peer-reviewed study suggesting that the virus could last for up to 3 hours in the air. So the WHO is considering calling this an airborne virus, and that is online, and you can read about it. What it means for us is not a whole lot different than what we were already doing with our respiratory precautions, but we need to take all of the instructions we've been getting about social distancing extremely seriously.
Yeah, that's just one of the many reasons why. The next question is, I have an elective surgery scheduled. I have an underlying medical condition. Should I reschedule it?
So I would say no. Our hospitals are up and running and they're offering their elective surgeries. And frankly, I think if you have surgery scheduled this week or imminently, go ahead and get it done now. If you wait too much longer, it may be a very long time before you can get that elective surgery done. If the hospitals become filled with people who are really ill, which right now they are not, but if that were to happen, it would be weeks from now, and you could be looking at a much longer delay on your elective surgery. So I have counseled patients as recently as this afternoon to go ahead and get an elective procedure done now while they still can.
Great. All right. Lydia called in after our 6 o'clock conversation. She said when someone is tested for coronavirus, a courier picks up the specimen to take to a testing lab. Since this disease is so contagious, what guidelines must those couriers follow, and are they different from other pickups?
So I actually had the privilege of observing the STRAC operation this weekend, and I watched how those specimens are being collected. They're being meticulously handled by people who have gloves on. They're constantly sanitizing their gloves. The specimens are double bagged, and each bag is sanitized. So you put the tube with the specimen into one bag, you wipe it down with alcohol wipes, and then you put it in a second bag, and that one gets wiped down. So the precautions are extraordinary, and the method of transmission is not primarily off of surfaces. So there really shouldn't be any additional recommendations or precautions for couriers in this instance.
The next question we have has to do with surfaces. One of our viewers wants to know, how long does the coronavirus, the COVID-19 we're talking about, live on surfaces? I mean, there are a lot of unknowns that go along with this whole thing, but what's the latest thinking on how long these live on surfaces?
So the latest reports are that if it's copper or steel, it's consistently around 2 hours. If it's another kind of surface, such as cardboard or plastic, it could be longer, and it's less clear how long it might last on those other surfaces.
Patricia wants to know, can the coronavirus already be dormant in our bodies and later come out and give us symptoms?
So from the time you first get exposed to a person who has coronavirus, COVID-19, it's going to take 2 to 4 days and possibly as many as 14 days before you have symptoms. So that means that, yes, the virus can be there before you're aware that it's there, and it's possible but not highly likely that you could transmit it to others during that time where you're asymptomatic.
Okay. Since one of the last viewer question we have tonight, since one of the symptoms of coronavirus is a cough, in addition to taking Tylenol for fever, can I take Mucinex for the cough and congestion?
Right. There's no problem with taking medications to mitigate cough for coronavirus. In fact, you should really, what we can offer now is symptomatic management. And we want people to stay home and manage their symptoms in accordance with their doctor's guidance and only seek medical attention outside of their homes or beyond their primary care doctor if there is true shortness of breath, difficulty breathing. But you can take a cough suppressant if you have a cough.
Question I have for you, Dr. Bergeron, is are we doing enough in San Antonio and South Texas to combat this coronavirus?
So I would say I'm pleased and proud of the response that I've seen with San Antonio at governmental levels and with the emergency response team. I know that these measures of closing down schools and telling people to stay home and not go out, I know they seem rather extreme, but this is exactly what we need to be doing during this time if we want to save lives. Our goal is to decrease the number of people that show up in the hospital all at once very sick. We don't want to have a situation like Italy where the hospitals were just simply overwhelmed. And if we keep following these guidelines, I really believe that we can slow down the spread of the virus. Doesn't mean there won't be virus transmission. We will have cases. We're seeing more cases every day. But our goal is to keep the number as low as we can and not have a huge surge that overwhelms our healthcare system.
I want to leave with this one thing that you brought up at 6 o'clock. You were in a HIV ward during Hurricane Katrina. You stayed with a lot of those patients there, some of them as long as 6 days until you were evacuated. What did you learn from that situation that kind of translates into the situation that we're at right now?
Well, I learned that the way that we treat one another in a crisis is really important. And although you might not realize it, it is saving lives. So we may not be able to control what's happening to us, but we can control how we treat one another. And I would ask San Antonians to really focus on this. Be kind. What does being kind mean? It includes not going out and being part of a crowd. That's kind because by preventing yourself from getting infected, you're also preventing at least 2 or 3 others from getting infected, and you're probably saving a life by doing so. You can be kind by finding out who are your elderly neighbors that are shut-ins, that are having trouble getting their groceries. We know that the stores are sometimes getting picked clean of supplies right now. Imagine you're 80 or 90 years old, you don't have a lot of help, maybe you don't get out very often. We need to find out who those people are in our communities, and we need to help them. That will save lives. So kindness can save lives.
I love that message. Dr. Ruth Bergeron from UT Health San Antonio, thank you for joining us. The whole purpose of this thing is to fight fear with facts. Coronavirus Q&A, we hope to bring it to you every night on the KSAT News at 9. We'll be right back.
Hey everybody, Myra Arthur here. Wanted to let you know why I am not with you tonight. Just like you're doing, KSAT is taking all the necessary precautions to try to prevent the spread right now. Social distancing, having people work from home when we can. And in my case, because yes, I am still so very pregnant, our company has graciously and responsibly agreed that it's not a great idea for me to be in and out of the office right now. So I am home, I am staying healthy, staying safe. We're all washing our hands and doing our very best to stay positive, as I hope that you all are right now. I'm in the playroom at my house where we are playing with all the things to try to help us get through this crazy time period. I know, just like you are. I hope to have some good news to share with you soon, hopefully a good positive update that we could all use, and I'll be talking with you then. And yes, Adam Caskey, this is a little preview of Fiesta Hair for that party with a purpose that we'll get to later, San Antonio. Talk soon. Bye-bye.
Turning to tonight's top stories, the Federal Reserve is bringing back a 2008-era program to help buoy the economy in the face of the coronavirus pandemic. It will seek to unfreeze a critical borrowing market, the commercial paper market, that gives American businesses access to short-term credit. It comes as major companies, including airlines, hotels, cruise lines, and oil drillers, face severe financial stress and need access to cash. The Treasury Department is backing the program, giving the Fed $10 billion of credit protection. The pandemic also impacting the 2020 census. This year's census will rely on mail, phone, and online responses more than ever before, but it still needs thousands of workers to knock on doors and collect information by interviewing people. During the 2010 census, 145,000 temporary workers were doing just that. Right now, less than 24,000 are doing it. The Census Bureau has until December to send its final counts to the President and Congress. And something cute, completely non-coronavirus related. Take a look at these animals at the Chicago Zoo celebrating St. Patrick's Day with shamrock-shaped treats. The animals among them taking part: Norman the porcupine, Yolanda and Liliana Nigerian goats, and 2 seals named Lily and Celia. Elderly fraud. It's something we often hear about, but usually when it's too late. As people get older, they experience diminishing mental and physical capacity, making them easier targets for crooks. Digital journalist Ivan Herrera has some tips on how to prevent and report elder fraud in our consumer series, Money, It's Personal.
You've probably heard about elders becoming victims of financial scams before. So, this week, we're finding ways to prevent that from happening and showing you how to report it with some tips from the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission. The SEC says elder fraud happens when someone exploits their position of influence or trust over someone who is elderly in an effort to gain access to that person's assets. There are some red flags you can look out for so that you can spot fraud and report it to the authorities. Those red flags include things such as unusual or unexplained bank account withdrawals, wire transfers, or other financial changes, missing cash or valuables from an elderly person's home, a dramatic shift in investments, an abrupt change in wills, trusts, power of attorney, or beneficiaries, and concern or confusion about missing funds. People who work for banks or other financial institutions may be required to report suspect cases of financial abuse depending on which state you live in. The SEC says this type of fraud or abuse can be reported to Adult Protective Services, which can investigate and intervene if needed. If you're a senior, you can protect your assets by making sure your financial affairs are in order. Those without a will or named beneficiary should consider hiring a professional to help. And you can also ask a trusted friend or relative to help make sure everything is legitimate. People who are concerned their loved one may be a victim of elder fraud or could be at risk should ask to look at that person's account statements to check for any suspicious activity. You should also call and visit with that person often. The SEC says isolation can increase the vulnerability of the elderly to financial abuse. For The 9, Ivan Herrera.
It's a phrase you've likely heard a lot over the past several days, social distancing. But what is that? What are the rules and why is it necessary? Here are some tips to help you understand. Play dates, happy hours, brunch. For many of us, these things are a part of life we don't think twice about. But thanks to the coronavirus pandemic, there are going to be a lot fewer group outings in the near future. That's because of something called social distancing. Health experts, politicians, and workplaces have called for this practice.
Keeping our social distance.
Comply with social distancing requirements.
Obviously, social distancing.
Social distancing is when people deliberately increase the physical space between themselves. It's something implemented by public health officials to prevent the spread of contagious diseases. It can involve working from home instead of the office, closing schools or switching to online classes, canceling or postponing large events. Experts recommend people try to stay at least 6 feet away from each other. Why is 6 the magic number? It's because experts believe the novel coronavirus is spread mainly through droplets that come out of your nose and mouth. And when an infected person speaks, coughs, or sneezes, droplets travel about 3 to 6 feet before falling to the ground. You probably have some questions, like where can I go? Options are becoming more limited and the rules are different depending on where you live. For example, here in San Antonio, Mayor Ron Nirenberg's revised emergency declaration prohibits public gatherings of more than 50 people. But in other cities like Houston and Dallas, restrictions are more severe. Dining rooms and restaurants have been shut down in both cities. You're probably also asking yourself if you can go out on dates or send your kids on play dates. There's debate among experts about this, but nearly everyone agrees that at this time it's best to stay away from crowds. And again, stay about 6 feet away from other people when in public. And if you have to go out, make sure to practice good hygiene by doing things like washing your hands and avoiding touching your face. Another question you're probably asking, will social distancing even work? It'll be tricky to prove these measures made a difference, especially since testing here in the U.S. is just now becoming more widely available, meaning more cases are expected in the coming days. But experts say this doesn't mean social distancing isn't working. And if you're looking for something to do while you're social distancing, you can now watch KSAT News at 9's deep dive into the Janine Jones case in Killer's Care on KSAT.com and your KSAT TV channel on your smart TV device.
All right, guys, many of y'all are probably working from home, including yours truly. So I wanted to do something a little bit different for our trending segment here on the news at 9. And I wanted to find some interesting information about streaming services and especially how to stream these things for free during the coronavirus quarantine. So the first thing I found here, Amazon Prime Video. So this was pretty interesting. You actually get the most bang for your buck with Amazon Prime because you're gonna get the free 30-day trial, which is pretty cool, but you're not only gonna benefit from that, you're also gonna get music and also shopping and delivery with that as well, especially delivery nowadays seems to be kind of a thing that we're all gonna probably need here in the near future. All right, moving on to another another major platform, Apple TV Plus. This is a 7-day free trial, but check this out. If you purchased a new Apple device recently, you can actually get up to a year free. So make sure if you got that, maybe you could get the full year. Some other big ones here, Disney Plus, of course. They give you a 7-day free trial, but if you are actually planning to switch to Verizon Fios or in the middle, you can actually get this for about a year or so. So Verizon Fios customers can get up to 12 months. So of course, Disney Plus has Marvel, Star Wars, and I'm pretty sure if the kids are at home, that definitely is helping out with that. Netflix, of course, the king of streaming. They are actually giving their new customers a 30-day free trial. So this is pretty cool. I did not know that. I've been a Netflix customer for a long time now, but if you have held off and you're just kind of waiting for these moments when you have to stay at home, or it's best for you to stay at home, check that out. Yeah, tons of shows on Netflix, of course, tons of series. Love is Blind. What is going on with that show? That show seems to be getting a lot of attention. You could check that out on Netflix. And we also have some other big deals for Showtime, Stars, and HBO Now. So make sure that you guys check all that stuff out on different streaming services. There's also a couple of smaller ones, including things like Acorn. I did not know Acorn existed. This is actually for British entertainment. So if you need to get your British entertainment programming, you could get that 1 week free on Acorn if you just stream that online. There's a couple of other ones here. We talked about Disney Plus. Well, there's also a DC Universe one. This is a pretty big one for people that are big into Batman, Superman, and all the DC, of course, comic books and everything that goes along with it. You can get that for 7 days. All you have to do is search DC Universe streaming online. And we also have things like Shudder. Shudder is for these horror-based streaming fans. So if you're big into horror-based films, go ahead and knock out Shudder. That's a pretty big one there for a bunch of thrill seekers. And the WWE Network as well. So fans, maybe you are stuck at home and you just want to get out some of your aggression, you could watch the WWE Network, and that is actually a 1-month trial. So again, a couple of these, Amazon, Netflix, those are 30-day trials, and they come with a lot more different things. A lot more of these are 7-day trials. So make sure you check that out and go online, and happy streaming to you guys, and I will check in with y'all later.